Today we are going to discuss about the introduction part of simple stress and strain under the module 1 of mechanics of materials. So the definition of engineering mechanics is that it is the branch of physics which deals with study of state of rest or the state of motion of a body, which is nothing but a engineering mechanics or mechanics. So the mechanics of material is the branch of engineering mechanics which deals with the relation between externally applied load on a body and its effect or internal effect on the body. And here we are assuming that even though the body is a rigid body, we are assuming that it is having some deformation so that the analysis become easier. So here the subject mechanics of material involve the analytical methods of determining the properties or parameters of the material, that is strength, stiffness and stability of the member. So the alternatively it is also called as the mechanics of solid. So this engineering mechanics having so many branches. So first let us see one by one. So it is majorly divided into two types. One is the mechanics of a solid and another one is the mechanics of a fluid, which is nothing but fluid mechanics. So this mechanics of a solids again divided into two major types. One is rigid bodies, another one is deformable bodies. So rigid body is nothing but bodies having negligible deformation, and deformable bodies having some deformation when the load is applied. So this mechanics of fluid or fluid mechanics again divided into three types. So based on the type of fluid, one is ideal fluid, viscous fluid and compressible fluid. So here in mechanics of solid, rigid bodies again divided into two types. One is statics and dynamics. When the body is in stationary condition, if we do the analysis of rigid body, which is nothing but a statics, and when the body is in the moving condition, if we do the analysis, which is nothing but a rigid body dynamics of rigid bodies. So these deformable bodies again classified into three types. One is the strength of materials, which is the mechanics of material, theory of elasticity and theory of plasticity. So theory of elasticity gives the relation between the applied load and the response of the body due to the applied load. When the body is loaded within the elastic limit, and in theory of plasticity the body is loaded above the elastic limit, which is nothing but it will not regain its original shape and position when the load is removed, and here the analysis is done above the elastic limit. So if we take any engineering material, it undergo deformation irrespective of whether it is a rigid body or deformable bodies. So while undergoing deformation due to the application of external force, the particles of the material offers a resisting force, which is nothing but internal resisting force. When this resisting force become equal to the applied load, the condition of equilibrium exists and therefore the deformation stops. So these internal forces maintain the externally applied force in equilibrium condition. Hence, the resistance force offered by a body against the deformation due to the application of force is nothing but a stress, or by other meaning, the force of resistance offered by a body against the deformation is called stress. Now let us consider a cantilever beam which is applied by a axial load P. So due to the application of this axial load P, there is always a resisting force which opposes the deformation of a body in the opposite direction about this small area A. Therefore, the definition of a stress can be stress is equals to internal resisting force divided by resisting cross-sectional area. So here the internal resisting force is R and the cross-sectional area or area at which the resisting force is developed is A. Therefore, mathematically we can write sigma is equals to R by A. So here stress is represented by a Greek word sigma and R represent the resisting force, internal resisting force, and A is the area of a cross section. So the resisting force always equal to the applied load, then only it will attain the equilibrium condition. Therefore the resisting force become equal to the applied force P. Therefore the equation of stress become sigma is equals to P by A. Now let us see what is the unit of stress. So by the definition, so we know that stress is equals to load by area or resistance force by area. So load either in terms of a Newton or kg and area meter square or millimeter square. Therefore, SI unit of stress is Newton per meter square and it is also designated as Pascal, and we know that 1 Pascal is equals to Newton per meter square. And kilopascal, so kilo is nothing but what, 10 to the power of 3. So Pascal is Newton per meter square, 10 to the power of 3 Newton per meter square. And megapascal, 1 megapascal, so megapascal is nothing but 10 to the power of 6 Newton per meter square. So here instead of a meter we can write in terms of a millimeter, because so 1 meter is nothing but 10 to the power of 3 millimeter, and here we have square, so 10 to the power of 3 square is nothing but 10 to the power of 6. 10 to the power of 6 and 10 to the power of 6 get cancelled, therefore Newton per millimeter square. 1 megapascal is nothing but 1 Newton per millimeter square. Next one is gigapascal. So 1 gigapascal is nothing but 10 to the power of 9 Newton per meter square. Here also we can write a Newton per millimeter square. So therefore megapascal is nothing but 10 to the power of 6. 10 to the power of 9 divided by 10 to the power of 6. So the difference is 3. Therefore 10 to the power of 3 Newton per millimeter square. So Newton per millimeter square is nothing but megapascal. Therefore we can write this one as 1 into 10 to the power of 3 Newton per millimeter